Hey guys, it's Anthony G123, also known as the Welshman, and as promised, I'm doing a tutorial on The Last Autumn. So that's actually going to start brand new on this one. So hopefully my music is not too high and they can actually hear me over this, because we've had a few problems where it's over narration stuff, so I'm just going to skip that. So obviously, it's The Last Autumn. So for this, I'm just going to do it on medium. So, okay. So obviously this isn't the console version because it's not even out yet, but it will be out in the next 3 months. So it's not been confirmed, but it's in the third quarter of this year. So it's going to be next 3 months definitely. I'd be very surprised if it was any longer than that. Let's just get that. There we go. So that's just like the intro. It's fine to skip it. I'm just going to be going on like the mechanics and whatnot of the game. Okay, so first of all, right, let's get along. So you now have the administration and not adaptation laws, which is fine. So obviously we need to. So you should see, obviously we got motivation now. Let's get these people. So I'm just putting these people, so you, rather than like piles, you've got these wooden and steel piles, which are obviously look a bit different because of steam cores for this. So let's just turn this around, it's easier. So just to get you introduced, yeah. So obviously I will be just going through like kind of build orders, just slightly here. So yeah, so obviously I've got 75 workers and 15 engineers, but in this one the engineers actually can't build, no they can't build, sorry, they can't actually work on manual labour work, so anything like gathering resources they can't do until later on, but I'm not going to go into that until the second half of the video, where it'll kind of be more spoilery in a way. So let's speed this up. Ooh. Right. So that's just your first notification, nothing changes that. So this, I want to just get this in there. And then we have this. There we go. So I'm going to get those people off. Yeah, so you can see it's only allowing me to use workers, which is, it's not handy because I've actually still got 15 engineers, but I can't put them on anything, so I've got actually. So what I'd say is I'll just destroy these. Yeah, so obviously because of such a high temperature, as you can see here, it's all comfortable. So there's no chance of getting sick from the temperature. But the one exception from getting sick from the environment as such early on is basically if they are sleeping without a house or tent. So I've got 90 homeless. Yeah. Oh, do I rush?
Shift's over. Stow your tools.
So let's skip up. Yeah. Normally we just get, so we've got a sawmill. I'll actually go through the other techs later on. So we still got like the basic techs. So heating is gone. So you've got sawmills, but so you've got your charcoal kilns for coal, faster gathering. But here you have docks, which is like has reloading stations. Now these take steam cores, but they also make gathering much faster because you can basically, the docks, the best way I could describe them is they're like coal thinkers. They just leave resources by them. but obviously you can pick between coal, wood and steel. So you got upgraded docks which make more piles the higher that we are. Yeah, so that's explained. So this is another different part of it, and that's the forager quarters. Now the forager quarters basically they're a bit of a mix of hunters and scouts, where they can go out and set outposts out. So they're a bit like the outpost depots, but these outposts are different where they actually only last 8 days, and they send 80 food, I believe it is, back, 18 raw rations, raw food. So yeah, and you've got Fish and Harbour, which you could take advantage of for the fishing. Yeah, so you've got that. Nothing on any other housing, so you've just got your tents, and that's it. So you've got your fish and harbours, so very important for later on, because the outposts, they are limited. There's only 4 of them, I think, on the map. So obviously, fish and harbours, mixing those up as well, is a very good thing to do. Now, the generator construction is a whole new tab. So you've got the Profos manufacturing, machine shop, foundry. These will make your main components and the upgrades for them. And then you've got a ventilation plant, which basically makes the worksite safer. And trust me, later on you're going to want that. You're going to want it to be as safe as you can get it. I don't think I'm going to have enough wood to build. That's enough wood to build everyone houses, so I'm going to so I've got enough for 60 people, but the good thing also with this scenario is that if people sleep outside with no tents, they still get ill, but basically the rate that they get ill at is, well, what is it? I believe it is 3% of the population basically, so it should only give me 1 sick person overnight now. So even on extreme, it will only give you 3 people sick if you don't build any tents. So that's why it's better to build up your wood early on for that. So cocaine pills. So this is all just about sorting out your motivation. So I like to go for sustainability because I don't see a point in going for a radical treatment, because I always plan on going for infirmary later on by the time I need it. And then that just deals with it all. So radical treatment was a bit not as necessary in this, and it gives you a bit of extra motivation, which is good, especially on the there we go. So after it tells you, so yeah, I'll provide shelter for everyone. Let's go for this. Yeah, so I've got people there. Everyone's working. So that's being collected. So obviously these gathering posts, they are extremely warm, but the reason why I still built them is because they are faster at gathering resources. So what do I want to do here now? Actually, I'll get fortune cores. I'll get these because they are very important, especially if you want to set up food early on. Yeah. There we go. Oh, come on, there we go. Right. So I tend to just throw all these oh yes, I need to, so obviously you need the cookhouse, that's always important. Wood pile depleted, okay, right. So as you can see, there's not much wood at all. so you just got to rely on all the wood here. That should probably kind of get hold of it. So.
Quitting time. Take a breather.
So at the moment I can't get an automatic overtime or anything like that. Probably because, yeah. So I'll keep getting that motivation up, because once it reaches here, we're getting 30% more efficiency on everything. And that's food, everything like that. And then once it reaches here, then it's 30% less. So yeah, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's not going to get done if it stays there for a long time, or even gets there in the first place. So I want to give them hearty meals, give them all the food they can. Obviously, going for gruel for survivor just to keep them alive, so you can get your first output's what's important as well. But on medium, it's, you know, give them hearty meals, and then what's this? Why is that not letting me do that? That's really weird. Okay, let's get these guys in there. So I will just get all the resources I can. That is weird. Why does it not let me do this? Ah, you know, I can't believe I just forgot. Oh, it's only got one wood. Happy days. Right, so let's just speed through this. So I'm still getting the basic facilities up. I need to get the public house. So it's starting to rain. People are going to start getting moody. There we go. So every day from day 3, you'll lose a bit of motivation. So nice. So you're fighting with that constantly. Okay, right. So I've got no sickness now. No sickness at all.
Get up, people. There's work to be done.
Right. I'm on the other docks, because they're the only source of steel in the game after these piles here. Right, put those out. That pile, well, that's going to go quickly. Yeah. Water. Okay, that's gone. So those gathering posts are now redundant. There we go. More motivation. Right. I'm basically just doing all the water to keep everyone happy.
Regulations change.
There we go. So keep that there. Fast to go. Yes. So gathering posts are very handy, especially early on. So yeah, hold on there. So, resources. So I'm just guessing here. That's roughly where it's going to be. So I've nearly reached that high efficiency then.
Folks, enough work for today.
Right, let's send these guys out. So they are going to get really food, because apart from the fishing harbours and the outposts, there is no source of food. So there's no hunt huts, no hot houses, which is really weird to be honest. I don't know why they didn't. Well, obviously gameplay and mechanics, but I don't know why they couldn't just get hot houses or something, or do like an outpost for hot houses or something like that. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's a bit weird. Like, it's explained like why they don't have automatons now, because of, you know, the amount of labour you got and how they were, you obviously precious steam coals in them and stuff. So I could understand that, but it's like, our house is like perfect conditions, don't you think? Alright, let's get this one. So 5. I'll take it out of this one, because Here we go. So let's just get my. Oh god. Didn't have any people in them. So obviously we'll just take all the wood here. So that's all the resources you got. It's obviously a bit of a slightly different map where you've got to kind of build all around the circle, and it's gone down again. Yeah, I'll get the chapel.
Rules are in place.
Now I've got the resources to actually buy a telegraph station. So once you've gone a few days in and you've prepared everything else, it will give you the option to get a telegraph station. So, and this is very important because this is what you'll order manpower in, your engineers, prosthetics later on once you've done the law for it. Even steam cores, so yeah, but they cost a lot of logistical points, so you get a bit more over time. It's better than okay. So when it comes to this one, it's generally better to keep your motivation high, even if it means getting your discontent a bit high, because you can see here, like at the moment, there's no discontent, no one's hungry or anything. So, what's this? Steel. Okay. Ooh, right. There we go. Right, that's good. No, don't more forges. Thinking about it, yeah, I'll get that. Just to get my wood income up. Once you've built your little small, tent lines and stuff, it's more about gathering resources for the generator itself. So firstly, normally I just get more people. So obviously, once you start building things for the generator, the amount of manpower you need just exponentially grows ridiculously, but that's why you go to the telegraph station, just to order whenever you want. Now it does take a day to come in, so you can see here, so it costs 20, so I think it's about 1 point every hour you're doing, so basically 12 workers. There we go, so this is one of the caps, so they'll be stuck there now for the next, camping work for 4 days. Right, okay, I was completely wrong there, it was actually 4 days, not 8. I always felt like 8 for something. So yeah, I believe it is 4, so it's 4, then it'll be 160, yeah, 324 food, which is not bad. But fish and harbours, it's better to get those because they're consistent, and it gives your foragers time to look about and find other materials and things. Cocaine, yes. So this is kind of like a bit of a bad law, I suppose, but it's very handy to have because if you're using gruel, that's the way to go if you want to keep your motivation high. Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to that. So I'm going to use standard meals now until it starts going down, because over time the motivation, after things start happening, the motivation falls quicker and quicker, so you've got to either put more resources to keeping it higher, like putting hearty meals on things. But that's one thing you need to be careful of, is if you do pick gruel at the start, there we go, 30%, so everyone's working 30% faster, which is good. Is that our food? Yes, that's our first food coming in.
Time to get busy.
Yeah. What's this? Okay, so yeah, one. Okay, just move the guy to another tent because yeah. Right, let's rotate so that's flapping around. Right. Stay away. Yeah, I think what I want to do first is, if you get a resource, what was it called again? What was it called? Yeah, reloading station there, then you save on manpower. And since I've got 3 steam cores, I will always put one through the infirm. Just always. That's because that sorts my healthcare out for most of the game. Ooh, was that? There we go. That's sorted. Complete that. And once that's sorted, then I can basically move on to using them for buildings in the... Oh, I got 24 there, that's good. Good. Alright, let's
get some rest, people.
Yeah. So, I want to get... Do I want to get big docks? Actually, I'll just get reloading station thinking about it. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, I kind of got a bit ahead of myself then, thinking like, why don't I just build them as docks? Because I've got enough people for it anyway. Even service, there we go. So whenever I need another boost to my motivation, I can just use that on the chapel. So it's a bit like the House of Prayer, but it's just for motivation rather than hope. Oh, okay, right. I've got 2 sick. Right, so I need to actually... Why have they got sick though? That's weird. I'm trying to think why they would get sick.
Shake a leg, the shift's on.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to watch out for that sometimes. I thought it was only from the public house when you've done knuckle bouts, but it seems to be just whenever it wants to, you know. Right. Let's get resource, yeah. Right, let's get these depots ready. Yeah, let's censor it. See, it causes a bit more discontent, but at the moment that doesn't really matter. Let's get this. I think what I'll do is get more efficient, because as it's on medium, I'm just kind of focusing on getting my production up first.
Quitting time. Take a breather.
Right. So get rid of 10. So, build it around this area and get as many people as you can in this range to keep the motivation up. That's good, really good. That's fine. So obviously I want plenty of resource depots because you can see you're going to need a lot of resources. But there's a little trick with them that I'm going to show you later. Let's do this one. Let's do that one. There we go. Okay, so they're building that. Actually, I'll build that too. So, at the moment in time, that's going to be my coal piles, which I'm not even going to use. I'm just going to prepare the gathering post for that. So, reloading station, as you can see, I've had to use roads, for all the gathering posts. But the basic docks don't need paths to them. But neither do the reloading stations, so if you really wanted to, you could put one here, or here. But normally I tend to use those for my fishing hours, and that's what keeps my food economy going for most of the game. Normally I don't even use the bathhouse, I'm not even going to lie there. But you're probably wondering, what's the point of even building it or even signing all for it? It's, well, one, it's a bit of a motivation boost, and you actually get access to crowded quarters or comfortable quarters. Now, that's more of a discontent management thing going on there. Skip that actually. Yeah. So it's okay, but it's kind of one of the last laws you want to do because. Yeah. So yeah, back onto that anyway. The laws in regards to the crowded quarters and stuff, like, it's very handy because if you put in crowded quarters,
Shift's over. Stow your tools.
I'm actually getting more people in. Yeah, I'm just going crazy for the people at the moment, but I'm going to need them. But I lost my train of thought now. What's this? Tents, yeah. So inhabitants, normally you get 10 people in tent houses and everything. It's always been like that with the rest of the game. This is the only scenario where you can actually change it. So I'm going to show you. So do I go for comfortable quarters and give people 8 inhabitants per tent and make it less efficient? Or do I make it more efficient and throw them in crowded quarters? And this time I'm going to throw them crowded. Yeah, so that's affected the motivation a little bit, but it's so high already, it's not a problem. Oh, come on, there we go. So, yeah, it kind of makes the need for tents a lot less necessary, where you could just have a lot less tents and fit the same amount of people in, and you can all fit them in this radius. And do I even want to keep those tents there? I don't know. Actually, I'll just disable them for now, and I'll automatically move to the ones in there. So there, okay, good. Right. So there's one. Optimized. So what I'm doing there is getting optimized materials because you get that upgrade for your machine shop and foundry, and I would suggest you do that because it will save you about 20% on all the materials to build the generator. So if you can get these before even starting building or using them materials, then it will basically save you that much. It's basically like a house upgrade where it makes it, I don't know, about 10-15% cheaper or stuff like that on all materials, and it's like, yeah, it's worth it. It really is. Okay, got steel. Oh, okay, right, fine. My wood income's a bit slow now, isn't it? There we go. So I'm going to use that as another one. There we go. So, protective measures. Do I want to do that? Yeah. So these are. What's this? Let's build. So we need 8 structural profiles for the first stage. So obviously I'm just going through the first stage. So we've got 8 profile structures, or structural profiles. We've got 2 people more. So the first step is quite basic in that way. So setting up the shaft structure. So go generator tab. So and then we've got that shaft structure. Now obviously this is on PC, so it may look a little bit different from the console version, but as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be exactly the same thing. Just obviously the layout's going to be a bit different because of it needing to be usable for a controller. Okay, well, I'm going for overcrowding. Right, so this causes a bit more discontent, but still, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Right, he's run out of food, doesn't he? Yes. Okay. That's fine. So he's going to go searching again. So he's got the ship coming. Right, so I've got plenty of steel coming in. That's very, very important to have. Okay, right, we are getting there. Let's just speed through this. As you can see, I've got, you know, my column going.
Rise and shine.
Says,
We've got work to do.
so safety concerns now. So obviously I'll improve it. So you have safety levels now. Safety procedures. Okay, I'll wait for that. So these, the laws that I'm going to be putting in place will, you know, increase the safety level. Just like this one, is it? Fish outfit. Yeah. Actually, at the moment, yeah, I've still got food in there. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, so, what's this? No, I want this food. Give me this food. So, yeah, 50 food rations there for me. Right, now I'm going to put shaft structures. So this is basically just rebuilding the first part of it. Right, I bet. There we go. Oh, I can use that. Right, I'm going to actually take these guys off.
New company rules are in
There we go.
place.
So it's now unhealthy or harmful. Now, where's this? So you've got safety levels. So this will tell you. So unhealthy and harmful. So think of it this way: safe is basically comfortable temperature-wise, unhealthy is livable, and harmful is basically chilly. And then once you've got dangerous and deadly, they both add mechanics where accidents can happen at deadly and what is it? Dangerous, yeah, dangerous and deadly.
Quitting time.
So dangerous is basically like if an accident happens, then people are likely to need amputations and things like that, or get gravely. So ultimate protection, yeah. But dangerous or deadly, sorry, is basically when people are gonna die. You know, if an accident occurs. Let's have a look. And that really does cause problems if it's constantly happening, because it really affects discontent. People, you know, protest at it and things, and it's a big pain in the backside really. So, oh, okay, right, yeah, that was the overdose. So that happens when you put them on cocaine pins for too long. Oh, there's an engineer too. Yeah, engineers are a bit more costly than this. Okay. Right, okay, I've taken a lot of coal from that already. What's this one? Off to so, at the moment.
Get on up. Work's not gonna wait.
So, yeah, just harmful, which will cause a bit of sickness, but that's fine. Actually,
Attention. Regulations change.
so I've actually given them short shifts now, so they're working very safely. Oh, and it's gone up again. Yeah. So I'm using safety procedures, everything to keep it as safe as I can. Right, ventilation plan. So it's a bit, well, snowed there, but that's just the mountains.
Shift's over. Stow your tools.
Okay. Do I have food? Yes, I've got enough food just to keep them going. I'm just trying to focus as much as I can on getting the resources and getting these stages done. So I'm 3 days ahead of schedule, which is good. Yeah, good. short shifts,
Listen,
making them.
everybody. New regulations.
Yeah. Let's see.
Come on, get moving.
So I'm
Time
basically
to work.
making work shorter shifts, but harder. So I get a 10% bonus to it. Yeah, so let's wait for it. Ooh, okay, that's bad. That's not good. Right, I'm actually going to get fish now because this is what I need. So that's safe.
Folks, enough work for today.
Oh, okay, someone else died. Right, that's fine.
Rules and regulations have changed.
So, you can actually get 2 shifts where you need more people, but it's like, I'm just going to extend the shift because that's just better. It's just better because you don't need as much manpower. So, get everyone else in an extended shift just boosts your production so much. Right, let's get it forward. Right, yeah.
There's work to be done.
So, I'm opening these fish harvest so I'll get 2. Now these will be a great supply for food. Yeah, let's get that. So I'm basically keeping my motivation maximum. And we're getting the accident. So you get a choice. What do you do? So I'm going to just blow up the cave in. So things like this will decide whether you slow down progress or do you protect lives. And they're striking. Right. Rest of the day off. Oh. Okay. Cheers.
New company rules are in place.
Jesus. So obviously they've got the day off, which has kept them happy, but obviously it causes delays. So unless you're far enough ahead, you might not be able to give them a day off. You might just have to just force them back to work. But that's not till later on, so I'm going to spoil it for you.
All employees, leave your workplace in order.
Okay. Let's get the infirmary going. Oh, okay. Just going to get 10 engineers in. That's what we need. So now, because after that incident you always get a strike, so you get to choose between the engineers or the workers. So obviously I've gone for the engineers, so they'll improve production and improve safety with the factory inspectorate, and later on you can get prisoners, but that's the biggest spoiler I'll now. And then you have the workers' unions who will basically do bargaining. They'll, do things like that. And obviously, this Frostpunk, it'll go to, a point where, it's kind of borderline totalitarian. It's like, not people worship you, but it's just how it is, really. Anyway, I need to do this. I'm actually going to build this. Let's build that. That's good. Right. Let's just finish this part off. And then this will be the... So you can find some good things here, steam cores, food, just things like that. So I'm just going to complete this. Right, so I've got 10 engineers now. Someone else died again. Run out of wood. It seems like I'm going through these resources quite quickly. There you go. Let's get that one. Oh yeah, get internal promotions. We'll do that in a bit. Yeah, it's taken a bit longer than I hoped. With the Last Doctor map, I can also notice that there's the map is quite random. Different parts of the map will be switched over at times on new playthroughs. So just be aware of that. Don't expect things to be in the same place twice. Okay, let's get to this one. There we go. Now that's the first part. So that's the foundation stone of the shaft structure. So I will continue this video in just a moment, and hopefully you've enjoyed this spoilers-free part of the tutorial. So the next part will be on the end game and just a few last parts on it. Oh, what's this? Efficiency. Yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this part. I'll see you in the next one.
Listen, everybody, new regulations.
Hey guys, it's Xbox 3, also known as the Watchman, and we are back with the second part of the Mars on tutorial. So, yeah. Okay. So, this has been skipped. Well, it's day 30 now, so I've skipped about 2 weeks worth. I'll do another 10 days or so. So a lot's changed. So that, yeah, so you've got obviously still comfortable everywhere, but it's gone down to -0. Well, just 0. Oh, blabbering on that. And then we've got another temperature drop tomorrow, so then it'll go. Well, most buildings will still be comfortable because they've still got some insulation, but they won't. So I'm on the part 3, so doing part generator, so I've already done the foundations, things like that. Okay. So this part will be more on how to heat. So we've got a new tech tab, so we've got heating, so we've got braziers, which I'll go into in a bit. You've got your normal heaters to keep workplaces warm. Once it reaches -10, 20, 30, you know how it is in the normal. Yeah, so obviously we're getting ships still in, but in approximately 7 days they will stop delivering and we won't be able to fish anymore either. So yeah, the next 7 days is very important for finishing the generator. Right, let's get these guys on. Actually, let's put safety procedures on to make it safer. Actually, let's go. So, also, law-wise, I have basically decided to go all the way in engineers, so I've gone from, factory inspectorate to internal promotions to oversee security outposts, class segregation, so yeah, penal colony, so very cheap labour, so they use half the points of workers. They don't basically complain about it. They won't strike, but you've got to make sure you've got enough security outposts with engineers in to keep them under control. And then I've got basically servitude, which sacrifices, I think it's 3 levels of safety for another 100% efficiency. So it's basically throw all your convicts on a building, put servitude on, and yeah, watch the deaths come in. But who cares? It's cheap life, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Because this is how you get the generator built quickly. So the motivation is going down our alarm rate. That's just too much for me to even be able to keep hold of, so let's try and slow it down a bit. Yeah, because at this point now, its motivation's reached a point where it just goes down faster than I can actually get it back up, so it's become a bit problematic. Right, so anyway. So I've got House of Pleasure, so I decided, yeah, I'll get that. If you lost that one, well, actually, yes, I will.
New company rules are in place.
Let's send those off. Yeah, so I've just got motivation back, actually. Yeah, still can't get shipwreck. It's still got 1,000 on it, so I'll just speed up a little bit. Let's get that.
All employees, leave your workplaces in order.
The way on how to keep convicts in line is building plenty of security outposts and making sure that any building that convicts are at is in that radius. So you can see that area. If they're not in that radius, then they can't work there. Fire danger. Well, managed. Wow. Yeah. So these are like certain scenarios that happen. But I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to let you find out for yourself what happens. It's something similar to the first one in part 1 of this video that I'll be putting on as well. So that's dangerous, that's fine. Not deadly. Right. Actually, let's get this one. I think this is just so bugged up. It's hard enough. Do we have... Oh yes, I get more steam cores, good. Right, I'm going to wait for another logistical point to come in and then I'll get 4 steam cores. And then I'll be able to build any of the special buildings I need that rest in place. So obviously I've searched a bit more and whatnot here. Yeah. So I've got plenty. so that temperature drop's coming very quickly. So this is basically, we're starting quite close to the end game now. Let's get the fish in, because we're going to need it. We're going to need it. Right, now it's getting even colder. So as you can see, it's just gone, most of it's gone white now. So you can just tell it's just getting worse and worse. And you've basically got to finish the last pass of the generator like this. Okay, it's fine. Yes, let's get it. So I've got more steam cores coming in. Oh, okay, that's just another one of the little small side pods. Oh, I forgot to do this right. So as you can see, yeah, a lot of places are still comfortable, so that's fine.
Workday is over. Remember to stow the tools.
I'm actually going to keep my... I'm going to try and store as much coal as I can, because you need obviously coal for eating and whatnot. So, yeah. So at a point, this is going to be the point where they're not going to be comfortable anymore. The good thing, hold on, what's this? Okay. Flag everything, standardise, don't rush myself here. Well, I'll be. Normally I wouldn't even go for it. So, if I really need to, then I can stop them going in. So, rather than send them home, just throw them into the generator's foundations. Is it absolutely brutal? Yes, that's fine. Yeah, it's Frostpunk. What's it? Oh, nice. It's just what I want. No, I don't want to get razors yet. I want to generator, ventilation pump. Yes, I want to make it safe for me. Okay, so I've got that. It's making it safer.
Shift is over. Report to your quarters.
Because obviously if it's safe, then I save people. Not like it matters if you let convicts die in, but it's... Yeah, sure, I think you lose a bit of motivation, but it's not that much. Plus you can just order more, you know what I mean? Like, so you get one cost for that. You can also order for sex, which costs 3. Which is like, is it really worth it, or is it just better to send them home? Because there's another law which you can pick instead, and you just send them home, you get more people in. It's like, it's personally, overall, I think just getting more people in is worth it. And just replacing, especially if they're convicts, like, yeah, why would you spend 3 times the amount for one person when you just send them off? Is that a cruel way of thinking about it? Yeah, definitely, but, you know, if you want to be efficient in Frostpunk, you just gotta, yeah, get on with it, I suppose. So, little pages forward. What's this? Oh. I don't think I made it safe either. Oh, it was. I actually got it safe. Right. So now only a few people. See? And then, yes, I did. How lucky am I? Right. That is very lucky because a lot of times I'm trying to get to safe, and it's like it just won't let me do it because sometimes I'll go something will turn off when it increases the danger level, you could say, and then it takes it off safe. And it's like, especially on higher difficulties, that's either impossible to achieve safe, or it's kind of on the line where you've got to make sure everything's ready for when you hit that progress, and it sets it off that event. But I think it's a bit random actually. I think the first one is stuck at 60%, so 60% once you reach that, it will go off. But I think the rest of them are random, and that kind of makes sense because that makes it more unpredictable, because a lot of people probably get it 60% on the first one and think, oh, 60% on the rest of them. But I think they've changed it up a bit to make it a bit random by about 10-20%, and then go set it off and they're not expecting it. And then they get surprised and then, you know, have their workforce to get either gravely ill or just killed. Right.
All employees, leave your workplaces in order.
Well, okay. So it's getting colder again. Okay, I'm going to get rid of those tents because I don't need those tents. How much heating does this have? Okay, so that's got 2 building insulation, that's good. Let's get heating now, so we're going to need it. There we go. Get rid of that, not make any homeless. Yes, I can, that's good. So I've still got vacant beds, that's good. That's good. Yes, this is kind of like more of the end game kind of. Okay, so as you can see, we've got foundries and machine shops. So these are the scenario ones. You've got obviously the first one, structural profiles only, and then the rest you've got steel composite, steam exchangers. It's just like this is like Frostpunk as it normally is. Low motivation, well, looks like it's actually high enough. Yeah, that guy's getting ahead of
All
himself.
employees, report for work at once.
Right, so that's done now. Have I got the materials I want? Yes, okay. Let's throw everyone on it. We need quite a lot of materials to finish extra upgrades. Yeah, I'll let them go. But what I'll do instead is... Oh, don't worry. Actually, I've already got this side, that's good. I'll turn them all into convicts.
Have changed.
So once you've completed this third part, all the toxic danger just disappears like that. Don't need that. Don't think I'll need those. They're just using coal unnecessarily now. Cure the affected. Yeah, I'll keep that motivation as high as I can for the time I'm completing the generator. Okay.
Shift is over. Report to your quarters.
So we'll just get to day 37 when basically the ocean or the sea freezes, and then you'll just see exactly what you've got to deal with for like 7 days, I believe. Just got to hold out on that. Right. Start making, right. At this point, I'm just making standing wheels because it's just going to be meals to stay alive. And trunk. I think that's all the laws done.
Report to your workplaces.
Yeah, so as you've probably heard as well, like obviously the announcement in the morning and evenings now basically they're changed. Place an order list. What do I want? I don't know what I want. Actually, yeah, I'll just get 120. Why not? Is it probably too many and I'm gonna get overwhelmed? Maybe. Probably, but you know. Keep them working, keep them working. Right, let's put the heat on them. There we go. Right, so see that was the last orders, so I've just done new ones actually.
Workday is over. Remember to stow the tools. So I prepared all those from. And it's gone down to my
Brace yourselves. Hold is coming.
30 now. Let's increase this. Here you go. So keep those all warm.
Get to your workplaces now.
So it's a bit more space. So they can collect more. Okay, right, no, still not enough space. Oh, fine. So I'm gonna start clearing all this wood down now. So let's finish this thing.
All employees, leave your workplaces in order.
I broke the promise. Right, so at this point we just go, do we let them go or do we stop them? So I can't even stop them all, so I'll just let them go. Wasn't good. So we actually needed more of these guys. Yeah, the thing is, I don't have enough engineers in security posts. They'll start rioting and they'll start killing people. And I do not want that. Yes, they escaped. Oh, right. So we are now alone. So at this point, that is pretty much. What's this? Okay, it's not worth time for me.
The work shift starts. Move.
Right. Come on, let's get these guys. Let's get these guys to get the rest of this. So I've now got access to that. So you can see it's going down to -40 and then -50. Obviously on harder difficulties we will be getting
Personnel, work is over for today.
less stress, so that's just warning me about that. I think it's just too many. Ah! Okay, I've just got enough engineers. Just enough. These guys, so. I'm sure that's actually playing on the Edge music and not the last
Brace
autumn.
yourselves. Cold is coming.
All employees, report for work at once.
Yeah, just send it back. I think it'll be okay for food. Oh, yeah, I think I'm just going to give up on hope. On that hope, motivation. Come on, let's finish it, let's finish it.
Shift is over. Report to your quarters.
And then let's take these guys up. Not that I need them. So, that pretty much wraps up the last autumn for everyone here. So, obviously, got another 5 days just to survive. You get this. And yeah, so after this you get a new tech that you've got to do in the workshop. Now these are a bit of a pain, you just need steam exchangers, steel composites for them. We'll just finish this now and just show you.
To work. Remember to report slackers.
The generator is operational. It's operational!
What that I don't get with this map is that you can't turn it on. Say it's operational, but you can't turn it on. Doesn't make sense, but yeah. So you've got these, you've got... so this space is just a tech you've got to which can take from a day to 2 days, depending on how many workshops you got. So yeah, we're going to leave it at that. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.